The alternative register styles includes pulse registers and sense amplifier based registers. So first let us start our discussion with pulse registers. So a pulse register is a different approach for constructing a register using pulse signals. So this helps to create edge trigger registers. Master slave configurations can be used in this. Fundamentally different approach for constructing a register uses pulse signals. The basic idea here is to construct a short pulse around the rising edge of the clock, and this pulse acts as a clock input to latch, sampling the input only in the short window. And the race conditions are avoided by keeping the opening time of the latch very short, and the combination of glitch generation circuitry and latch results in positive edge triggering register. So this is the basic pulse register circuit, where initially let us give the value of clocks. Before that, let us see how these transistors are connected. See here, the M1, M2 and M3 are the three transistors here. M1, M2 are NMOS and M3 is the PMOS. For M2 gate, we are giving the clock input. And M3 and M1 are interlinked, and we are giving the D input. Between your M2 and M3, we are taking the output where it is connected to M6 and M4 of the PMOS and NMOS transistor. For M5 gate, clock G is given, and between your M5 and M6, Q output is taken. Okay. Now let us consider the clock generation. Let us consider the value as 0. If this is 0, this is an off condition. M2 is an off condition, and M5 is also in off condition. So whatever be the value of D will not be propagated to output. When clock is 1, okay, when clock is 1, both the transistors M2 and M5 are in on condition. So your input D will be propagated to the output Q. This is a very basic register, and see how this glitch is generated. This clock glitch is generated. This clock glitch is a very short duration of time. Let us consider initially our clock given here is 0. As this is 0, we can say our PMOS is in on condition, and this 0 is given here, directly given to the AND gate, and from the output of PMOS, that is from the drain side, it is considered as X variable, where you will get it as logic 1. If 1 and 0 are AND, performing AND operation, we will get the output as 0, and here it will be 1, and here you will get your output as clock 0. So now let us consider our clock is transit to 1. Okay, from 0 to 1 it is transitor. So during that time there is a slight immediate transition in your first input of your AND gate, because for the X to get its input, it has to pass through this PMOS transistor. So hence there exists a delay. So before X data arrives, your logic 1 is arrived to your first input of the AND gate. This makes your AND output as 1, and which makes your inverter output to 0, first inverter output to 0, and which makes your clock G to 1. Okay, which helps to switch on this transistor. Okay, and hence this point is connected to ground. Okay, see here, within a short duration of period before reaching the value of X, these changes will be occurring, is it? So thus, see, when 1 is given to this PMOS gate, as this is an off condition, that off condition should be given as a should be considered here. Before that, it is considered as 0. This is considered to be as 1 and 1 combination, and you will get the output here. So this is shown in the pulse signal that is shown here. See here the glitch latch. When the clock is given, within a short duration, when the clock tries to changes from 0 to 1, there exists a pulse generated at your output. So that is what we can represent it as a pulse generation circuit, that we can say it as a glitch generation. Okay, the length of the pulse is controlled by the delay of AND gate and the two inverters. Okay, so that is what the case here. And the advantage of the approach is the reduced clock load and the small number of transistors required, and the glitch generation circuitry can be amortized over multiple register bits. The disadvantages is a substantial increase in verification complexity, and this has prevented a widespread use. Next is a sense amplifier based register. A sense amplifier structure helps to implement using an edge trigger register, and this circuit accepts small input signals and amplifies them to generate rail-to-rail swings. Okay. This circuit helps to accept small input signals and amplify those difference in the input signals to generate a rail-to-rail swing. See, the rail-to-rail swing is from 0 to VDD or VDD to 0. Okay. And this is most widely used in memory cores and in low swing bus drives to either improve performance or reduce power dissipations. So many techniques are used to construct these amplifiers. One such is based on your cross-coupled inverters. See here, this stage, we are using almost 10 transistors here. I am naming the transistor here as M1, M2, M3, where M1 gate is connected to clock. Okay, M2 gate is connected to input and M3 gate is connected to in bar. Okay, between your M1, M2 and M3 we are connecting M4 transistor. Okay, and see here above this M4 we are connecting a cross couple inverter pair where M5, M7 and M6, M8 are connected. See, one PMOS and one NMOS and one PMOS and one NMOS. These two gates are interlinked and the output is connected, which means output of this M6 and M8 is connected to the input of M5 and M7, and output of M5 and M7 is connected to input of M8 and M6. See, this is connected to the feed, that is an NAND gate that is connected back to back, see, to one of the inputs. Is it? See, this is connected to one of the inputs of these NAND gate, and similarly for M6, M8 input, it is connected to one of the inputs of your NAND gate, and we are getting the output as out and out bar. And for this we are giving the VDD. M7 and M8 we are giving the VDD, and we are using one more transistor for clock controlling, so M9, and for this side we are using M10. So total we are using 10 transistors. Okay, let us see the operation now. If you are considering the clock as 0, see here, whenever I am considering the clock as 0, see, M9 and M10 are in on condition. Is it? M9 and M10 are in on condition, which makes L1 and L2 to be equal to logic 1. Is it? In digital it is equal to logic 1, or in analog it is equal to VDD. So now L1 and L2 are in logic 1. Is it? Then this is connected as an input here, which makes your NMOS M6 and M5 to be in on condition. Hence here M9, M5, M6 and M10 are now in on condition. And if you give any one of the inputs here, we are considering it as 1. And let us say, as this is 1, your M7 is in off condition and M8 is in off condition. And here if you consider out as 0, okay, if you consider out as 0, see, this is connected to the feedback here, which makes this to be 1. As this is 1, the 1 is given here, which makes out to be equal to 0. Okay, this is the basic. So this we can say it as a pre-charge phase. During the evaluation phase, when clock is turned to 1, it evaluates through M5 and M8 transistors. M5 and M8 transistors, which also makes M7 and M8, that is what we have discussed now. And M2, M3 difference input is considered, and that is amplified, and you will get your output. Okay, difference of your input signals is amplified on the output nodes on L1 and L2. Okay, so at this point we will get amplified difference of your input signals. And here the cross couple inverter pair flips to one of its stable states based on the value of the inputs. Okay, let us say if in is 1, L1 is pulsed to 0, and if in bar is 0 in this case, which makes the L2 remains to VDD. So it alternatively it's to be considered in that cases. So So previously I have said both are 1, but based on the input, so this has to be either amplified or it can be maintained to 0. Okay, shorting transistor M4 provides DC leakage path from either node L3 or L4 to ground. Okay, so without the leakage path, that node would be susceptible to charging by leakage current. Hence, this latch could then be actually changed prior to the next raising edge of the clock. It is the basic sense of it. The difference in the input signals will be amplified and it is sensed in the nodes L1 and L2. Based on the nodes, that is the value that is sensed in L1 and L2, the corresponding output will be generated. Okay, this is your positive edge trigger register based on sense amplifier. Next we'll move on to pipelining stages. So basically a pipeline is a popular design technique often used to accelerate the operation of the data path in digital process. The goal of the presented circuit is to compute log A plus B, that is modulus of log A plus B, where both A and B represent streams of numbers, that is the computation must be performed on a large set of input values. So the minimum clock period T minimum is necessary to ensure the correct evaluation. Okay, this T minimum time should be given. So this is propagation delay, setup time and input to output time. So this is your log A plus B. Without pipelining architecture, the second architecture is with pipelining. Okay, this is the operation we need to perform with the help of your pipelining concept. See, I need to get inputs A and B and this input is stored in register. Okay, once this is stored in register, we can perform the addition operation. And we need to perform an absolute, that is your modulus of A plus B operation will be performed. Okay, and then it is stored in log, or we need to perform log a modulus of A plus B and that is stored in the register and we need to get your output. So this is the basic architecture without pipelining to perform the operation of log A plus B. If I need to perform the operation of log A plus B using pipelining concept, see I am adding registers here at the intermediate stages and I am considering this as a 3-stage pipelining. So this is stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3. This is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, now I am giving the clock period. So let us say this is your clock period and you are performing adder. I will write it here as add. Okay, and I am performing absolute value here, which means that you are performing modulus value and then you are performing logarithm. Okay, so during the first clock period, I am giving the input as A1 and A2. Okay, so these are the inputs that is given during, A1 and B1. Is it A1 and B1? These are the input that is given to the addition. Okay, so during the first stage of the clock period, during the first stage, it performs the addition, and during the second clock period, the second input is given because the addition output is stored in this register during your first clock period. Hence, during the second clock period, I am giving my second input and I am performing the addition. At the same time, I am performing A1 modulus of A1 plus B1. Okay, so this is the value I am performing. And during my third clock period, okay, after performing the absolute value, this is stored in this register. Okay, during the third clock period, I am giving the next input as A3 and B3 and I am performing addition during this period of time. At the same clock period of time, I am performing absolute value for A2 plus B2. Okay, and I am performing log of modulus of A1 plus B1. Okay, A1 plus B1. So during the third clock period, I am getting my first output, and during the fourth clock period, I can give my fourth input and I can perform the addition operation. Okay, hence I can get A4 plus B4 can be performed during my fourth clock period. And the absolute value here performed is A3 plus B3. Okay, A3 plus B3 during the same fourth clock period. Okay, and then the log operation for second input is performed. This, see, to get my second output, I need only 4 clock periods. This is how the pipelining works. And during my fifth clock period, I can get my I can get my third output. Is it A modulus of A3 plus B3? Okay, log of modulus of A3 plus B3, that is get during my 5th clock period, and it goes on subsequently. Okay. Thus, with the help of the pipelining, I am getting my second output during my 4th clock period. If I am not applying the pipelining concept, I can get my first input during my 3rd clock period, and I am getting my second input during my 6th clock period. Okay, this is what the case is. So in the same way, we can design for pass transistor based D-latches where this pipelining concept can be implemented. So this can be divided into FG as 2 stages, or we can divide it into 3 stages. Based on the requirement, the corresponding necessary registers can be added between the stages, and then we can make it as a pipelining architecture. That's it.